Folks, let's watch this one unfold. I'm looking forward to it.
We're joining this game in this matchup in game 2. Logan Nettles winning the first one. So we're going to kick things off here, taking a look at the opening hands in game 2. Not the worst hands, a little awkward though.
I think the word you're looking for is clunky.
Yeah, it's a little clunky.
Little clunker.
Keepable, but clunky.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it.
Tangled Florahedron can act as a mana dork, but in a stomp meta, yeah, not something you really want. So Tangled Veil's going to be the play there for Logan Nettles. And speak of the devil, and it shall come. There is a Bone Crusher Giant in hand there for John Girardot. Despair Sentinel drawn for Logan Nettles. Interesting decisions here to be made.
Yeah, this is one of those turns where you're probably going to take a little while, because not only are you thinking about how you want to sequence on your turn to play the rest of the game, as far as like, do I want to lead out with, Sentinel or Lovestruck Beast, which land do I want to play, yada, 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 but also, do I have to care about what my opponent's doing on this turn either? Now, this is a Fire Prophecy to kill that 1/1, which may seem a little bit strange, but looks like we might need a little help as far as mana is concerned, and John found something there in a Fabled Passage.
Finds the Fabled Passage, also has the Edgewall Innkeeper, if you can combine that with an adventure creature. But obviously hoping to find land number 4 off the top of the library is John. Logan finds an Edgewall Innkeeper, does have the 4 lands available to him, so how does he want to sequence this next turn?
Well, we're thinking red pathway into
maybe just a big old beastie boy, yeah.
Yeah, with the ability to play an Edgewall Innkeeper next turn to get it to attack. Yeah, it's all right.
Oh man, John is going to be wishing and hoping for a land here, because at a Crone War, really likes stealing Lovestruck Beasts.
Oh, interesting. We might just be bouncing Lovestruck Beast, which means giving a reset to Lovestruck Beast with Heart's Desire to make a 1/1.
Oh, there's line number 4.
Okay.
Not too shabby. Can go Edgewall Innkeeper into either Bone Crusher Giant or the Brazen Borrower. Which threat do we want to deploy? Looks like it's going to be Brazen Borrower, flashed in response to a removal spell.
Well, that's going to get you a card 100% of the time, so that's what Girardot does want and will get here against Logan.
So much to do in this hand here for Logan. You like cards? I heard you like cards.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of options, and there are going to be plenty of cards coming back between Showdown of the Skulls and Edgewall Innkeeper. Looks like another Sentinel. Okay. You play a land, crack that land, play a 3? Maybe? Maybe you don't even play anything.
So Girardot with priority is thinking about this Brazen Borrower, where he wants to deploy it. It's always so tempting just to stomp these creatures out the way, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can't really do anything as far as a 3-mana spell is concerned, excuse me, because the Sentinels are a little sick right now. So you can play a 2-mana spell in Bone Crusher Giant. And Bone Crusher Giant, more importantly, Stomp can kill the Edgewall Innkeeper or the Brazen Borrower if you want, and then mosey along that way. So we'll see exactly what Logan wants to do here.
Ooh, Disdainful Stroke is a great find against the Showdown of the Skulls. Brazen Borrower is going to swing in here. You'd think maybe this is an easy block here for one of the Despair Sentinels. It looks like Logan Nettles is going to go towards the Bone Crusher Giant for this one.
Get out of here, Edgewall Innkeeper. I've seen enough of you. I don't need a block.
Yeah, we saw in the previous game how quickly Brazen Borrowers can get the game done.
All right. Logan is, I think long game he's favored, given the makeup of his hand. So with that in mind, I think he just wants to drag it out. Just, let's keep making some trades. I've got Jagatha as an option. Got this Bone Crusher Giant that's on an adventure. Got this Showdown of the Skulls in my hand. No guarantee the Showdown's going to resolve, of course. But, the more turns we play here, I mean, Logan's got the card drawing engines in his hand. Multiple copies of Edgewall Innkeeper as an example. So if I'm Logan, I'm feeling pretty good about this, and I'm just thinking, let's just keep trading, trade, and then I'll just outcard you and probably win. Is probably what's going to happen.
It certainly seems like Logan's deck has a better way to refill its hands at this point.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it, right? Like, they both kind of have a lot of the same resources, but Logan's, of course, playing Showdown of the Scalds, where John is not. So one thing that's really nice here, though, is that Logan actually just has those cards in his hand at this point, though, and doesn't need to draw them. So he can kind of craft his game plan around the game looking like this, which is now 2 Edgewall Innkeepers, and play a creature off of an adventure. You know, play the Bone Crusher Giant, peel 2 cards. I mean, that's a really nice turn.
Yeah, that is indeed. What do we find off the top? Another Lovestruck Beast and a 5th land, importantly. So a nice find there for Logan, who's able to cast Heart's Desire and send one of those Lovestruck Beasts on an adventure.
Also waste Girardot's mana that turn, nothing to Disdainful Stroke. So, you know, that 2 mana that was available, got no use out of that, got no use out of the Stroke. Not really sure if there's ever going to be a good use for the Stroke over the course of this game, because I imagine Logan's going to keep just going on to Lovestruck Beast, draw 2, you know, Heart's Desire, Lovestruck Beast, draw another 2. You know, make the game look like that, maybe.
Crow and Ward down on the battlefield, taking care of one of the Edgewall Innkeepers for the time being. So can get some extra cards off of it with that Bone Crusher Giant, but let's see how this next turn plays out for Logan. Importantly, leaving up that Disdainful Stroke, knowing that Showdown of the Scalds is a very real threat.
Very much so.
Right, so what do we want to do here?
Again, what I like about this for Logan is that he's not desperate to resolve a Showdown of the Scalds.
Yeah.
He's got so many other options as far, you know, he's got so many options in his hand, that Showdown of the Scalds is, I think, the least relevant of the bunch, which is a terrifying feeling because that card is so powerful.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's just, okay, Edgewall Innkeeper, let's draw a bunch of cards because we got 2 more adventure creatures available to Logan. Ideally, you'd like to keep Giant Killer around to kill the opposing giants, but, you know, at this point, you could just start mounting your offense.
Yeah, let's go and get busy with Bone Crusher Giant. I'm into it.
Bone Crusher Giant in for 4 points of damage, not blocking with that Edgewall Innkeeper. John Girardot wants to get some value off of it before it does die. Everything's going to be forced to attack next turn for Logan Nettles. He's also at the point where he doesn't want to commit too much to the battlefield, otherwise it's all going to be very dead.
Decisions here for Nettles. I mean, this is an enviable position to be in if you're the Naya Adventures player, insofar as just the world is your oyster on the sequencing. Just whatever you want to do. I mean, you got to tiptoe around a couple of things, but not too much stuff.
Not at all. And while the Crone War is going to deal with most of the creatures on his side of the battlefield, he has ways to rebuild. He's got the Lovestruck Beast, the Giant Killer. He's got the Showdown of the Scalds. The adventure spells work so well in conjunction with the Showdown on the 2nd and 3rd chapters, just having these cheap spells to trigger the counters with.
Alright, Edgewall Innkeeper biting the dust. Sure, I mean, that's one step in the right direction here for Girardot. That land, I mean, he doesn't need any more of those. Fortunately, that Triumph does cycle, but, you know, he needs more action.
Well, let's see what we'll find here. Off the Bone Crusher Giant, Edgewall Innkeeper will draw a card for him. No way to deal with the 1/1 from Logan Nettles' side of things.
I was actually going to make a comment here, but Girardot beat me to it about, I think I might want to tap the mana myself for that card, because I'm not entirely sure. I'm happy with the way Arena's going to do it for me, and also I'm not entirely sure how I want to do it myself.
Oh, we can play Luka this turn, if he wants to.
1, 2, I think we might be short of red.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah, we are short of red, so we can't do that.
Next turn.
Yep. Now, what does Luka hit? We'll see.
Luka hits a bunch of stuff in this deck. Typically, when you see Luka, you think, okay, there's no other creatures barring the big heavy hitters, but there's a bunch that he can hit with his Transmogrify ability, so... Now we're in the must-attack phase for Logan Nettles, so... What are we going to see here from him? So 4 mana being floated. We can use Jaspera Sentinel to tap something down, but then it dies anyway. Look at that Disdainful Stroke being lifted. It's like, haha, no, no, no.
because Logan has drawn a second showdown, he can lead out with this one as a, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you counter it, okay. If it resolves, good luck. So that's a really, really good place to start.
And he's able to deploy the second showdown if he wants to, but it looks like we're going to go towards the other Heart's Desire as well as the Love-Struck Beast. Or are we going to hang on for that? Okay. All right, go swinging. Love-Struck Beast and Bonecrusher Giant forced to attack here. Edgewall Innkeeper is going to jump in the way. This is Logan's Edgewall Innkeeper, so no big loss there for John. And then those creatures will die the next turn comes around.
Boy, is Nettles far ahead in this game. This cycle plus draw step are going to have to be a doozy. That's not it.
Okay, another Bonecrusher Giant's Deece.
It's not nothing. I guess Chrono Ward did some work this game.
Stifle the draw engine a little bit. We're going to see Luka, Coppercoat Agent, hit the battlefield now. I'm curious to see what the mode is that he chooses for the Planeswalker. Well, we're just going to YOLO it? Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, that answers your question. Let's go. Okay.
He found Coma.
YOLO indeed.
But we can kill
Giant
Coma.
Killer. Yep. Chop that down with that trigger on the stack, my friend.
Go away, big snack. We don't want you here. What a... Oh, goodness me. That could have gone so badly for Logan, but the wherewithal to keep that Giant Killer in hand, dealing with that powerful Coma. Goodness me.
Giant Killer, more importantly, chop down. Fantastic card. I mean, that's one of the reasons you're splashing white in this deck, because that card is so good in this style of matchup. It's good against a lot of the main threats in this standard format, so kudos to you, Giant Killer.
And now the way is clear for Showdown of the Skulls. As we find a land, so we can get another land down on the battlefield and get Jaspera Sentinel down. Oh man, you can just do all of that next turn.
Yeah, you can do land, play a Sentinel, prepare for all the triggers that are coming on Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. I mean, this is and there's also another showdown there. I mean, this is a juicy one. Oh,
so gross. I love it. Goodness me. So Logan Nettles very much in the driver's seat here. In round 14, he's looking for that 12th win. He's getting tantalizingly close to it with what we've just seen drawn. Oh, goodness. What can John draw off the top that helps him? I mean, he found the best card pretty much in Coma, but just chopped down at the ready there. So before combat, Bonecrusher Giant's Stomp is going to take care of the 1/1, shutting off the attacks for the Love-Struck Beast. Jaspera Sentinel is going to float that mana, and in response, we'll see 2 points of damage dealt to Luka, the Planeswalker.
Yep. So future Comas are going to be on hold, folks.
Yep. Ooh, that's a nice draw, though. Edgewall Innkeeper found off of Luka's plus ability. We'll be able to draw a card here off of the Bonecrusher Giant, so let's see what's on top of the library here for John. Okay, that's a pretty good find there. So we won't see a crazy turn next turn for Logan, courtesy of that Disdainful Stroke. But we will get a bunch of counters on our stuff this turn.
Yep, we start to spread them around a little bit. That Luka's still problematic, though. And this is why this Disdainful Stroke is such a great draw here.
Yeah, that's the best target for it. Get rid of that card. Get out of here.
This one's shifting back. I had mentioned how I thought that the long game was actually going to favor Logan here because of the showdowns that he had. And, that first showdown getting countered, but he had that second one, and then he chained off into a third one. Now this long game actually looks quite bad, I think, for Logan, which I was not expecting. I mean, he had all these Edgewall Innkeepers, but that also kind of goes to show and demonstrate the power of the Crowan War and how much of an impact that card had in this game. So pretty swingy game that might be getting away from Logan Nettles here.
Yeah, all these counters, but unless there's a way to deal with Luka, that card is going to put in some work here. And he's got a pretty sizable battlefield to deal with too, and a Coma ripped off the top.
There you go.
Yes, please. Love-Struck Beast into exile as well, but let's get Coma, Cosmos Serpent down on the battlefield. And this time around, Logan Nettles doesn't have any way to deal with that big creature.
Yeah, this one is getting a little out of hand now in favor of John.
Goodness me.
Boy, I did not think this game was going to shape up this way about 3 minutes or 4 minutes ago. My goodness.
John Girardot is fighting for his life here. He wants that 12 wins. We're going to get Girardot Magistrate down on the battlefield here, but how do we deal with Coma now?
I don't think we do. I mean, Logan's going to play this turn pretty quickly. You know, if we're going to talk about all aspects of this now, Ailey, we got to talk about the clock and how Logan's underneath 8 minutes. I don't want it to be the biggest deal in this game and in this matchup as these players play for top 8, but it does work itself into the equation. And now the big question I have is how long do you want to try to play through this Coma and Luka that's active? I mean, that's a tough road to hoe.
Mm-hmm. So Luka going to exile a couple more cards, though, but with Girardot Magistrate out, he won't be able to cast them.
Yep.
So just putting some loyalty on Luka to be able to use the minus ability. Giant Killer is going to tap down the big Cosmos Serpent here.
Okay, that's a way to slow down the 6/6 aspect of things.
Oh, okay. Clarion Spirit's decent, but we need something else to follow it up with.
Yeah, we need some help with that. I mean, the Clarion Spirit's cranking out 1/1s, Chroma's cranking out 3/3s, and Coma doesn't need any help. What Clarion Spirit does, so I'd say advantage Coma, but we all knew that already.
Oh, so many creatures hanging out in exile there for John, but he can't get them down on the battlefield. Just lands in hand, and this Giant Killer is just going to keep tapping away here at Coma the Cosmos Serpent. Is there a way for Logan to win this, though? That is the question, with 7 minutes remaining. So
for me, you know, I take a stance here, like with competitive Magic, I just think about, okay, clock has worked itself into the equation, because these adventure games can go pretty long, right?
Yeah.
You know, do you have to start thinking about a concession and getting ready for game 3? I mean, you're up a game, so if you concede, you know, you get to play that third game, you're on the play, blah, blah, blah. Because, I mean, you're behind. And I don't know what catching up even looks like.
Well, if we get to 7 for Luka, he can just, you know, -7, and then each creature deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. So that's one way to get this game over pretty darn quick.
Okay. I mean, I'm giving Logan the benefit of the doubt here because I don't think he would continue playing if he didn't have a way to win. If he didn't have an out in this situation. So I think it's appropriate to give him the benefit of the doubt here. You know, he's playing for a reason and is not concerned about his clock at this stage, which, okay.
Yeah, no, he can certainly manage a win in the third game with the time remaining, but Luka is just going to keep blessing. He doesn't give two hoots about the cards that are going into exile there, and there are plenty of them, so 2 more turns, and we're going to see a big old chunk of damage.
Yeah,
Oof, that's not what you want to see. I kind of hope we get to see Luka Ultimate. That's something you never get to see.
It is pretty rare.
Just use a couple extra seconds for us, Logan.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate it. All right. Looks like we have a Lovestruck Beast off the top that we can play. Edgewell Innkeeper's going to draw another land. It's all right. It's not what you want to see, but next turn, friends. It's going to be a juicy ultimate. Oh, yes. Now it's do or die for Logan. Does he find a way to deal with Luka? Oh, this is gonna be a lot of damage. How many serpents has Coma made?
I've lost count. I mean, it looks like there's 7 or 8 over there.
Oh, goodness me.
Each creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each opponent, huh? Well.
Yeah. Oh, let's go. Okay. Logan, let him do it. Let him do it. Let him do it. Please. This is the kind of silly stuff that I live for in Magic, all right? It's ultimate time. A Crow in War off the top, but that's not what we want to do here. We want a -7 on Luka Coppercoat Agent.
Is there any reason that can't happen? I'm trying to think if there's something on the battlefield that does not allow that to occur.
I don't think so. He's got priority at this point. If he plays something, there we go. Oh, that's glorious.
That's a lot of damage.
-34. Now that's how you kill an opponent.
Jeez, that's my first Luka ultimate, by the way. That's number 1. Yes.
Oh my goodness, that was phenomenal.
First time I've seen it. So,
thank you, Logan, for letting us see that. Very much appreciated. Let's go to game number 3.
What better time than the present than playing for top 8? How about a Luka ultimate?
Oh Man, that's just glorious.
Well, chat's loving it. So here's what I'm paying attention to right now, because I've got our live feed and I've got the lovely Twitch chat up. This game ended for Logan, as far as clock is concerned, 6:46. Clearly could have ended earlier than that if he wanted it to. And I'm just saying, TikTok knows that their clock. We're gonna see if he can finish this game.
He's got it. Well, he knows what it's playing for. He knows what's on the line here. We appreciate the style win there, allowing John Girardot to ultimate that Luka. It's all going to come down to game number 3 here, though, folks. Both of these players vying for a spot in the top 8 and one game away from claiming it.
Again, remember, too, whoever wins this into the top 8, lock it up, lock it in, and then the loser still going to get another shot at it next round. Because they're having such a good tournament, they're going to get another shot at it next round. So, an enviable position to be in insofar as a loss is not the end of the world for your top 8 dreams, but as we've mentioned in the last match and this one here, would rather get it done now. Put your feet up for next round.
For sure. You'd rather lock in the 12 wins than be at 11-4, where a bunch of other players are going to be duking it out for the last spots in the top 8.
For sure.
All right, let's go. Game number 3. It's adventure time.
Man, I loved Logan's position. Oh boy, this is not a great hand either. I was going to say I loved Logan's positioning in that last game. I thought he was going to be a pretty heavy favorite to win it with those card drawing engines.
Can I make a... We could probably keep this.
Yeah?
Yeah, we got Edgewell Innkeeper. We got Jaspera Sentinel. We got a 1-drop of Hearts. I would keep this.
You are bold.
I mean, it's probably not the right time to keep it, but you got to consider this.
I love a good mulligan myself.
Just consider this. Jaspera Sentinel, turn 1.
Okay.
Turn 2, you play the Edgewell Innkeeper, and then with the Edgewell Innkeeper, you play your Giant Killer. You draw a card.
All right.
So you're looking at more cards. You got the Giant Killer, the second one, to keep...
Hey! All right! All right, you got what you wanted.
My hero, go!
Here we go!
All right, Logan, you got this. Let's do it. Oh, and another Edgewell Innkeeper. So we're going to have double Eddies with the Giant Killer, but let's get the value off of it now. So Giant Killer is going to draw a card that's Showdown of the Skulls. Is not what we want, but next turn we can go Edgewell Innkeeper into a second Giant Killer and draw 2 cards. It's fine. This is fine.
Yeah, that Fire Prophecy looks real good.
Be quiet. Don't jinx us. Damn. Listen here, Cedric. Let our memes be dreams. I mean,
yo,
dreams
I'm
be
into
memes.
that. All right, Drewland.
It's
Drewland.
fine. It's fine.
Okay, you're all right.
So we can still do the same thing. We're just minus a Jaspera Sentinel. It's okay. This is fine.
Yep, you can play this. Play Giant Killer, Peel 2.
Yep.
You find your
Let's
third
go.
land. Yeah. One.
There's 3. Yep.
2,
And there's 4.
Hey, good
Easy
keep by
clap.
you. Hey, good keep by you.
Easy clap. Could I get some easy claps in chat, please?
I don't know what easy clap means, but here we go. Easy clap.
Easy clap.
My meme is not a dream, or something else that the kids would say
Something
nowadays.
along those lines.
Yeah.
Here comes the Lovestruck Beast, though. This is a big old chunky boy in the way, but luckily we got Giant Killer to tap down any big old threats there. Let's see what we do. Let's get Giant Killer of our own, Lovestruck Beast of our own down.
Oh, this is pretty good. I mean, just drawing 2 cards a turn, this is pretty good.
This is so damn good. I love it.
Pretty good.
All right, a Crone War, though, is going to be... it's going to put Logan in a bit of a pickle, stealing the Edgewell Innkeeper, so shutting off that double draw engine for the time being, but does open up the way for a Showdown of the Skulls. 2 Showdown of the Skulls. So we are in hyper mode now. Luka Nettles needs to hustle and get this game won and done, as he is fighting the clock here as well.
So, decisions. Are we going down the Showdown route, or are we going down a different route? Now, also, worth remembering, Logan Nettles, who I'm a big fan of, played a Team GP with, all that jazz, have lost to him so much on Magic Line. He is a little bit deliberate in his pace of play. And it's not like these decisions are easy, and there's a lot on the line. So, as that clock works its way towards 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
This is fine.
Okay. All right.
This is fine. Logan, come on. You got this. Let's do it. All right, so what we're going to do here. Looks like we're going for a stomp. Okay, all right. So Eddie the Edgewell Innkeeper is going to die anyway when these creatures are forced to attack next turn. So let's get him out the way. And let's see what John can find here. Oh, that was a very heads-up play, actually, not allowing Luka to come down and nab that little 1-1.
Yeah, I like a lot of what's going on here on Logan's side too, because he's also keeping up the giant killers and the Edgewell Innkeeper. I actually like a lot of what Logan's last turn was.
And there is a second copy of the Akroan War, so John could do the same sort of thing and just steal that Edgewell Innkeeper, but looks like he's going to pass the turn back and keep the Brazen Borrow for some interaction.
Okay.
All right, let's get the chunky boy down. So here comes Bone Crusher Giants.
We go Bone Crushing, draw a card with the Innkeeper.
Let's get a land down. Can follow up with a Bone Crusher Giant on John's turn. In for 3. It's not a lot of damage, but the big boys are coming.
Yep, and this means the Akroan War is going to fire off on Chapter 3, and that means goodbye Edgewell Innkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Giant killers still hanging out.
Yeah, they got big booty, so they're perfectly fine. Here comes the second copy of the Akroan War. That's probably going to steal a Bone Crusher Giant.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, Brazen Borrower is still at the ready there.
Florahedron, not you.
3.5 minutes to go.
Yep, it's coming from all sides because John's in this game. So we're gonna keep playing.
Oh yeah,
he's
for sure.
very much in this game.
Oh goodness me! Showdown of the Skulls. Gonna exile the top 4 cards. What do we find? 2 lands and a Akroan War of Logan's own. Okay.
No good attacks.
Just hanging out.
Just hang. Is there a good spell to play? Do you want to play Florahedron? Do you want to just go Stomp? It looks like he just wants to leave up Stomp or a giant killer activation, I suppose. All right.
Oh man, these brazen borrowers are going to give Logan gray hairs for sure. Okay. All right. So Luka, Coppercoat Outcast. Going to be free and clear to land here. Let's see what we do. We're going to plus exile the top cards. Get to play one of them. Oh, whiff. No creatures found there, so just gonna have to follow up here with a Lovestruck Beast's Heart Desire token. Right now, so this turn at least we're able to tap down the giants with the with the giant killers. So we won't lose those creatures in combat, and they won't die to the tap damage. Can actually make them pretty big here.
Yep.
That's neat.
So I think is it maybe just the next turn that you try to use Luka, sacrifice and get a Coma out of your deck and start going down the Coma road again?
I think there might be a consideration here for Logan to actually pump up these giant killers, get that 1/1 out the way with Bone Crusher Giant, and kill Luka. I think that's the first problem that needs solving.
2:30 on the clock.
This is fine.
Well, you were confident in the keep of the one-lander.
I believe in the Jabberwocky.
You're confident in the clock. I admire it. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I'm
sweating.
nervous too. I don't want a commentator's curse Jabberwocky here, okay? All right, Despair Sentinel's going to come down. We're going to get a few more chunky counters on these itty-bitty critters. We love to see it. Here comes a Bone Crusher Giant, free and clear.
He's making his move. He's getting some stuff on the battlefield.
Go, Chonkers. Nice.
Luka down. Okay.
Now, unfortunately for Logan, all those lovely counters are going to be basically made null and void by the Brazen Borrowers and their petty thefting.
Okay. Here's Lovestruck Beast. I mean, feels like Logan is pretty far ahead right now. Underneath 2 minutes, but it does feel like there's enough time.
Yes, it feels like he's all right. But the key moment here is going to be where he puts these counters, because Brazen Borrowers are primed to pick up whichever creature gets the biggest buff.
Well, looks like we might be thinking, let's start here.
Yeah, get them all to 5 power so that they're able to get through this Lovestruck Beast.
Not the best of Showdown of the Skull. It's just a Lovestruck Beast as far as a spell is concerned, and a whole bunch of lands.
All right, let's make these lands drop quicker here, friends. Please.
Somebody, you get a little worried over there, bud?
Just a tiny bit. That's fine, though. All right, Low Struck Beast, Heart's Desire. More counters on big chunky friends.
Okay.
Okay, Tangled Chlorhedron.
Chlorhedron's gonna come down. There'll be a trigger. Put a counter on that one.
Oh no, what am I talking about? We can just tap down the Love Struck Beast. We don't need to kill it.
No, you don't have to kill the thing. Yeah, you got Giant Killer. Just shut that down.
Yeah.
And then serve in for a healthy amount of damage here.
So sit down, pick up the biggest thing, take 4, 5, 10.
So this is 4, 5, 10. Make it 12 because of the Bone Crusher Giant trigger.
Yeah.
Right, so you bounce it?
He's fine. He's got a minute left. This is fine.
Oh, we're gonna bounce we're gonna bounce the Giant Killer.
Okay, yeah, don't want to take that 2 points of damage there from the Bone Crusher Giant. So there's a Stomp and a Giant Bone Crusher Giant. This is getting really, really tense here, but I don't know if there's any way that John can survive this next swing.
I would be very surprised if he's able to. I mean, he's at 3. Most of these threats can be made lethal just from Chapter 2 of Showdown and spreading the counters around. I actually think that makes it even easier. Logan Nettles the shot clock is not gonna run out on him.
Oh my goodness, Bone Crusher Giants drawn off the top in conjunction with the Giant Killer. Gonna be able to get these blockers out the way. And there's the good game from John Girardot. A minute left on the clock. Who needed more time than that? It's totally fine. There was no pressure or stress or anything. Logan Nettles making it through to the top 8. You love to see it, Cedric.